is that absolute, pure monotheism. You won't find nothing like it, because you'll find every religion in one way or another worshiping creation. And Islam is the only one that purely calls you to worship the Creator alone without any associates with God.
Absolutely. And this is kind of a misconception that Judaism is a monotheistic religion. You'll find a lot of polytheism within the Hebrew Bible. You'll find a lot of polytheism also in the Talmud. And this is not commonly known. And I had an entire debate on this issue with a yeshiva graduated Jewish man, a Jewish scholar, and we had a debate on it. And he agreed, you're right. There is, this concept of sons of God in the Hebrew Bible.
He did, didn't he?
Yeah, he acknowledged that. He said that, there are verses that are ambiguous. So the argument that I made is not that Judaism is polytheistic. I made the argument that you find monotheism and polytheism mixed in. Like it's ambiguous what the Bible is actually saying. Like, is there just one God, or does God have sons? Does God have a wife? These are things that you find mentioned and referred to in certain verses of the Bible, especially when you go to things like the Dead Sea Scrolls. You go to these manuscripts that have been found of the Hebrew Bible, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, and certain verses are not like what you find in other versions of the Bible, like the Masoretic text, which is what most of the what Jews follow today, mostly the Masoretic text. But the Dead Sea Scrolls will have verses that talk about the sons of God or the council of gods, like God is presiding over a council. So this is El is the head god, and then there is a council of gods, and then Yahweh is one within the council of gods.
Yeah.
And then other versions of the Bible will translate that as angels instead of gods. But if you go to the Dead Sea Scrolls, for example, and other versions, other manuscripts, the word is not angels, the word is gods. And there are scholars that have studied this and published on it, who have studied the Dead Sea Scrolls, for example, like Emmanuel Tov, he's in Hebrew University, has published books on this. So yeah, a lot of people don't know this about the manuscripts. But then you go into the Talmud, and you have the idea of the Metatron. The Metatron, and this is, what is the Metatron? Sounds like the Transformers, right? But Metatron is supposed to be like a partner of God. And in certain Jewish traditions, it's called Little Yahweh, basically like a partner to God. And other, Jews will say, no, this is an angel, the angel Metatron. But in a lot of the passages of the Talmud, the Metatron is described as being like a stand-in for God.
Yeah. So this would violate the pure. That's why I always I put pure and absolute in front of monotheism, because truly Islam is the only way of life that's purely, absolutely monotheistic. This cancels monotheism, doesn't it? All these things, definitely. And I think everyone needs to watch this debate. Where can they see it? I think everyone needs to watch. This is between you and a Jewish. Is he a rabbi? He's an academic.
He doesn't call himself a rabbi, but he's gone through that training.
Everyone needs to watch this. I think this is a very civil. It's a very nice educational debate, and you're giving this evidence, and he's like, yeah, you're right.
Yep. And the shocking thing is that according to, and I asked them this, what if someone goes and is doing a prayer, like a Jewish prayer, but instead of thinking about God, he's thinking about Satan? And he's going through the motions as a Jew to worship, but instead of worshiping God, in his heart, he's thinking about Satan, like Satan worship. Is this a problem? And the answer was not really. It doesn't make you less of a Jew. The important thing is to go through the rituals and go through the motions. But what you might not even believe in God. You might not believe in God, but you're still a practicing Jew. That's what counts. You're going through the motions without any belief. If you don't have belief, it's like a sin.
Yes.
But it's not how we understand Islam. You're out of Islam if you don't believe in God. You can't be a Muslim and not believe in God. But you can be an atheist, not believe in God, and still be a Orthodox Jew. And there was a clip that I saw of a rabbi saying, yeah, and actually the person I debated acknowledged this, that 50% of rabbis probably don't even believe in God. 50% of rabbis, not even the common Jewish.
How is that possible? That's like saying 50% of imams or sheikhs or muftis don't believe in God. How is that possible?
The Muslims can't understand what does that even mean, and maybe Christians don't even understand what that means. But in Judaism, that's the way that their understanding of belief works. It's not so much the belief that counts, is abiding by the law.
And this debate that this is, you're not just pulling this out of your back pocket.
No, that's that's what the Jewish man's name is, Duvid.
Yeah. What I like, what people like about you is that you're academic in the sense that you definitely you stick to the proofs. So you give the evidences. You don't just pull stuff out of your left or right ears or back pocket.